How's that?
Good. Hi.
We just got back from deer camp, and we gotta say it was pretty successful. We had 5 people, we got 2 deer. At least with our deer camp, it's really not about the deer. You know, we call it deer camp because we go there for hunting and so on, but it's really not about the deer, it's about the experience. It's an experience that you're gonna have that you don't get at home, you don't get on vacation. There's no real luxuries other than it's so quiet you can hear your pulse. I've been going to this camp for about, I think this is my 10th trip to deer camp. I've been going for 13 years, but I missed a few years here and there. I've had some kids be born, and then some other issues came up where I didn't go, and it's either my 9th or 10th year, I'm not real sure. We are a small plot of land surrounded by thousands and thousands of acres of a logging company. So we have like this little island in the middle of this sea of trees, and we can hunt. And what we've been doing the last few years is we've been going up during the summer, and we've been planting food plots, and we've been putting up new blinds, and we've been trying to do all these things that attract deer to the area. So far, I mean, to be honest, nothing's worked. So the journey begins. We are about to head to the UP. We are going to deer camp. If you can't tell, I'm uber excited. I don't know, it's just like one of those things, like you go there, you don't get any deer, it's all dudes. You're in the middle of nowhere, you're 5 miles from another building, another house, another human being. Anyway, we made it to our hotel. We're staying in a hotel tonight. The night before we go into camp, because the first camp is still in there. We share the camp with another group of guys. Me and DeAndre are gonna meet them at 8 o'clock in the morning and then help them unload, and then we're gonna take our stuff back to camp. All right, we made it. So it's really pretty. Coming in, there's a lot of snow. It looked like a big wall. Yeah, the whole time I was shoveling, I was like, man, I wish I had a beer.
You didn't bring any beer?
They didn't bring any beer.
You had the case in the back of your truck.
I know. So this is a secret mission. We're gonna go bait, because we're masturbators. All right, so DeAndre's driving. All right, so we're headed to the first blind. We're gonna put some bait out. I don't know if they saw anything at the first blind or not. All right, so this is crazy. It's a madhouse out here. So we're getting up to the first blind. So behind us, this is actually called the tin can. It's the tin can. I don't know why they call it that. I have no idea. It's right there is the bait, and right there is the blind.
Right around it.
Yeah.
Friggin' moose.
Yeah, we didn't notice that.
Look at the hair.
Yeah.
Hair all over it.
Yeah. Huh.
You might have got like maybe even stuck in it and tried it. Yeah.
While the camp is owned by family, there's just too many people that go to camp, so we separate the camp into 2 different weeks. We usually do the second week. We like to hunt down here for opening day, and then we go up there and we hunt. When we first started doing this, the first camp would close, and then we would go in and we reopen the camp. And the last few years, what we've been doing is one of us or all of us would get there at the same time first camp would come out, we would go in, and then they didn't have to close down camp and we didn't have to reopen camp. So it was a lot less work in the process of that first day. A lot of times we'd go up to camp and we wouldn't hunt the first day because there was just so much stuff to do. But with the camp already being open, everything was pretty much done. I mean, other than we had to unpack and get our stuff, on the shelves and the food ready and stuff like that. But it really wasn't a whole lot of work. So we all went out the first night. So I'm walking to my blind right now. It's really just a stand used for bow hunting, but it's about a mile. No, it's not a mile. I think it's 3/4 of a mile or half mile to this one. I'm exhausted. I got way too many clothes on. I guess I need them because it's pretty chilly. It's probably like 28, 27 degrees. Hopefully I see something because I'm really, really tired. I need to make this worth it. And I have to pee really bad. TMI, I know. It is, I don't know how cold it is. It's freaking cold. It was 30 when I left. It had to have dropped 10 degrees. I'm not taking this mask off my face, so we're gonna have to deal with that. But it's cold. Now we have only 90 acres that is considered the camp, but all the acreage around us was logging companies. So the logging companies, basically, they allow anybody to hunt the property as long as you walk in. So for us, basically, instead of walking in, we're walking out. We're right in the center of all of the logging companies' properties. And I'm sorry I'm not looking at the camera, but basically, to my left and to my right is about 200 yards of shooting area. So basically, I just have to look back and forth. Just crazy. I feel like a crazy person. The hunting up here, like right now I'm talking, and I'm sure like a lot of people are like, shut up because you're too loud, whatever. But the reality is the deer here don't really know humans like where we live. Like where we live, they smell you, they hear you, they see you, they're gone. They don't really know what humans are. I mean, they don't see them. There's just too many acres and there's not enough humans because the only time the humans are even here is during deer season. So we don't really have an issue. I mean, we have deer running around us downwind and we'll be talking and they don't do anything. So after getting skunked, I headed back to the cabin where I met up with the rest of the guys and we pretty much just roughed it for the rest of the night. When I say rough it, it's really not that bad, but we don't have electricity, we don't have running water. Most of our heat source comes from this cast iron stove that we use to cook our food. And we just keep putting logs in it throughout the day. That pretty much heats up the entire cabin. When everybody gets in from camp, the first thing you do is you usually just take off your hunting clothes, and we hang all our hunting clothes up on the ceiling, and it helps dry the clothes as well as it keeps everything from being cluttered out in the middle of the camp. For our light source, we have these old gas lanterns that we have mounted throughout the cabin. They're all tied together through a gas tank that's outside the building. We made our dinners and we usually sit down, we have lots of crackers, and we enjoy pretty much the rest of the evening just talking and listening to the radio and telling stories and playing cards. And that's it. The next morning we head out to our blinds. For the last few years, Steve has mainly hunted this blind that we call the China Hutch. On this day, him and my brother decided to walk a mile to this blind that we call the stump. And I sat in the tin can and DeAndre sat in the cedar chest. Ryan ended up sitting in the China Hutch. The last time Ryan sat in the China Hutch, he shot a deer. And it really doesn't seem like that big of a deal considering that they already shot 2 deer in this blind this year. But the last time that he did that, Steve had been sitting in this blind all week waiting on this buck that he saw the first day. And he sat there all week, and finally he decides to go somewhere else, and Ryan sits there and shoots a buck. So yesterday Steve was sitting in this blind, and then Ryan goes out and sits the blind, and this is what happens. After sitting a little while, DeAndre texted me and said, hey, I just saw a deer and I wasn't able to shoot. 5 to 10 minutes later, I heard a gunshot. And so I texted DeAndre and said, hey, was that you or was that Ryan? He said it must have been Ryan, it wasn't me. So about another half hour passes, my brother texts me and says, hey, Ryan shot a deer. He needs help tracking it. Can you help him track it? I was getting cold and I like going for walks at deer camp, so I was more than happy to go help Ryan track this deer. So we're gonna shot this deer. And the deer's not dead, so we gotta shot it. Yeah, it's not even jiggling.
Picture time fully dragged.
I don't have my phone either. Oh, I do not have my phone. Gotta push his head out, man. Good. Got it. Pretty young too.
Yeah.
Short nose.
Yeah.
Pretty big body though.
Yeah. Definitely he's got a fat body there.
Yeah. 1, 2, 3. So that was our first full day of deer camp, and from that point we pretty much considered our deer camp a success. I'm pretty much gonna wrap the rest of the week up in my next vlog, so subscribe if you guys want to see it. Subscribe anyways. Comment below with any thoughts you have about deer camp, or any feedback you can give me about these videos. I greatly appreciate it. Follow my Twitter and follow my Instagram. Subscribe, like, comment, all that YouTube stuff that everybody says. Thanks for watching.